What is up, everybody? Welcome to another Afro Taku live stream. I'm Mr. Good Guy, aka MGG, and I'm joined here by my co-host, who will introduce himself starting right now.
What's going on? It's Jugga.
What up, what up, what up? I am Gramps.
And as usual, we gotta kick it off. This is our chapter reaction, so we're kicking it off with My Hero Academia, chapter 314, The Lovely Lady Nagant. We read it. I think my only call out for the chapter that was I'm kind of over it is this like, ooh, the government makes bad decisions or is like a little evil sometimes thing that they do in My Hero because they never really unpack it. They did it with Hawks and then they like never really unpacked it. They did it with now they're doing it with Lady Nagant. Like, I feel like they seasoned this whole like, ooh, the government, does some shit for the Hero Society, and then they never. Then the government proceeds to act like straight idiots, basically, and unprepared for regular shit. So, I didn't really like that they added that part. It was cool to see that like heroes and villains were getting like straight up killed by the government, but I also felt like if they never told me this, I wouldn't feel like I missed anything.
I'm kind of. I pretty much just saw this chapter as we saw it coming kind of thing. Like it was just gonna happen. They didn't like spice it up with any kind of twists or turns. Really, it was more about since they gave so much hype and highlight to Lady Nagant, we needed the backstory. We knew she was a hero before, and they just used that opportunity to talk about how bad the government is, which, in most series / just TV in general, government bad, has to do a lot of internal shady ish to make ish work. And Lady Nagant was the soldier who actually made it happen. We were wondering how exactly she went from hero to villain. We have that now. And hopefully this is pretty much the end of it. If they extend it anymore to really her backstory, that's when I would start to be like, okay, you're wasting time. But now it's just pretty much like, okay, this is over. Now time for the next one. But it was bound to happen. So I just don't even, I don't know. I don't feel like, in a positive or negative way about it because I just saw it coming, I guess.
Yeah, so I've noticed over the course of this year, it seems like they've been trying to move things to be a bit similar to like a lot of these like drama TV shows, a lot of the shit that you might see on Netflix and Hulu and all that shit that don't exactly follow the typical shonen manga routes of things. They're trying to put a bit more of the similar themes that adults would watch in movies and TV shows. So with them, for example, like you were saying, throwing in the government and saying, hey, they got this, fucked up background to them or whatever, and they do all this shady stuff, and they're just having the actual heroes be out in the streets and have these, complex conversations with each other and stuff like that. I'm just seeing that common thing start to show a lot more over the course of this year with all of the chapter releases. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. I know it's refreshing on one part that it's not just the same, feeling like you're just looking at the same stuff over and over with typical shonen manga with every series that we go through. So there's that aspect, but then some of this stuff can come off as a bit boring when you're just reading it. I'm guessing like chapters like this is what you guys were talking about. Y'all had to try to force yourself through with. What was it? Did y'all say it was Hunter x Hunter? The manga? Y'all said it was
as
some
far
manga
as
that
like just reading narratives and just
some manga
text,
was just a bunch of just text all over the place. I think y'all said it was Hunter x Hunter, maybe.
No, that's definitely Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, the chapter book. The chapter book.
Like it can have its points where it's just a bit of a drag or whatever. You're just trying to see some progression, and folks are having a lot of conversations and shit like that. So I can see where it can definitely start to drag a bit. And I just hope that they don't do this too much, or it's gonna be a rough process to get through.
Silent Blaze is definitely a throwaway chapter. I do agree. The one thing that I don't know if it makes this chapter notable though was the Chisaki bitch made shit at the end, bro. I don't know if I can fully call him like a goofy yet because I don't know how
Oh man.
subservient he is, but to see him be a servant to All for One in this way, I have to see more. Like I was a little bit like surprised to see this nigga pop up, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, what? So I mean, I guess that means maybe All for One, um, promised him like his power back, or I don't know. But I was a
I
little bit
mean, it's
shocked to
just too
see,
much.
yeah, to see him pop up
It's
at the
just
end
too
like that.
much. It's like, I
Damn
mean,
dirty.
with just like the big clout that he got, with just like his rep personality, just who he was as a character, like
Yeah,
during his arc to now see him now is just such a letdown.
Yeah, it
right.
is.
It's like he's pretty much like a yakuza boss, right? And now he's just become a tool and
Oh
not
yeah.
even like a good tool. Like right now, he's pretty much being used as a hostage against the heroes. It's like, bro, what? It's like, come
Yeah.
on now, dude. Like you were like the realest villain, at least in my opinion, one of like the realest villains we've been introduced to in the series so far. And now he's just like literal trash. It's like, wow.
Yep.
It's just sad. It's like, wow, is Deku really about to like get got because he's trying to save Chisaki being weak?
Hurt my
Yeah,
heart.
I would have been much happier if it was just a random person up there
One
that she
hundred.
was just
Exactly.
dragging along.
100
Exactly.
fucking percent,
Like
bro.
Jesus.
It's like, wow, this chick brought him to be a hostage like this. Like, wow, okay,
I'm like,
okay.
and it just hurts. Like it's just like, damn, bro. Even Redestro, like
True.
I argue Redestro's L, like at least Overhaul's L was like to heroes, and then after he got beat by the heroes, he got his shit taken away. But Redestro's L was to some villains, and even though he took his shit, that's like he still shows that nigga respect. You know what I mean? Like he still has clout in the organization they've created. He's still making moves, and to
Mhm.
see Chisaki, but I guess I mean he ain't got a quirk, but to see him this low is a little bit like, yeah, it hit me in the feels there. I was a little bit disappointed at that end. I was like, damn, bro. I really hope you plotting on this nigga. That's. I hope there's
Fingers
something coming
crossed,
around
man.
because I
Fingers
was like,
crossed.
damn.
What fingers?
Ooh,
Oh wow, too soon, too soon.
petty.
How did you guys feel about? So did we learn about pinpoint focus before this chapter, or was this
Oh,
also
I just
another new
thought that was
introduction?
the sensibility. Oh, was that tripping?
I don't think that was Danger Sense. You talking about Danger Sense?
I think
I didn't know
so.
what the heck that was,
I was
dude. To
really
be honest.
confused. So I was like, is it just like super good aim so he could turn into a sniper at one point, or what was it? Let me see if they have it like listed
Wait,
out
I
on the
gotta.
wiki now.
You know what? I think
Oh
now
yeah,
that
he
I think
said the
about it, now
fifth
that I see,
pinpoint
I,
focus. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
yeah, I'm guessing he's taking that little black whip power and just making it where it just has a sharp point to the end of it. So I'm guessing he's taking that power and just putting his own little quirks
Oh,
to it.
I didn't see it like that. I saw it as like he was like shooting the whip, but he was using pinpoint focus to aim it at her like perfectly. She
Right.
dodged it, but it looked like he was just like, oh, whip, and then like pinpoint focus. Like this is where I want this shit to go.
Oh, it looked like it was getting narrower and narrower. That just might be
Hmm.
just distance,
Let
just
me
the
see.
distance
So they
wavelengths
got
from or whatever.
they
So
got
I was gonna be like,
Fajin is the third, Danger Sense is the fourth, Black Whip is the fifth.
Oh wait, yeah,
So
like
that's
black.
really
Yeah, so
weird.
if Black Whip actually is the fifth, then that's just all Black Whip then.
Yeah,
If
so
right.
that's how
that's
he did it.
odd.
Okay.
That's
And I
odd.
thought that he was just
Okay.
using the black whip to kind of like make a needle, a super long
Yeah,
needle out
that's what
of
it
it.
looks like.
Okay. So
Okay.
then
And
yeah,
and and if he is, that would be lovely because that would mean that man was going for a headshot to
right.
put it straight through her dome.
Yeah,
I
I'm
would
still
love it.
confused then on why he named it like pinpoint focus then. So either that's a move the fifth already have, or he just kind of like because he still called out the fifth. So that means to me that it wasn't like, oh, I created this shit. It's like I'm using your power. So maybe the fifth has this and it just wasn't that great when he used it, or I don't know. It just seemed a little weird to me.
Don't take
Yeah.
this from Deco, bro. Just let's just assume that he made it up, bro.
I guess
Let's just
so.
assume
I
that.
guess I won't go One Piece deep with the theories here.
I'm trying to give Deco some clout out here, man.
Right? He needs it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to just see him being this character that just simply uses all of these people's powers. I want to see him actually make something new from all of them.
That's what
So
I'm hoping
I'm
for
going to
too.
assume that he made it.
And I'm hoping it's not just combinations. Like that's cool and all, but like you said, I hope like each power individually he creates a mastery from. But it sounds like it might be more of like a stacking thing where in combination with another ability he makes this one ability stronger. But
Mhm.
to me, I feel like it's more respect on the other All for One users to show them that even though you had All for One, your power itself still was great though. Like I feel like that would
Hmm.
be a nice little, you know what I'm saying, writing sympathy or whatever the fuck, like little heartfelt moment is just like, oh yeah, he made all of our quirks feel important in their own instead of just like, oh, All for One's here.
True. The only issue with that, though, is that because of the actual stacking of physical, feats or intensity to all the quirks, is that if you have that background thought, whatever Deku technically does, it's still going to be a more powered sense than what they had before anyway. You
Right.
know, so I guess it'll just depend on how you look at it, slash maybe how they paint that picture out. But I mean, with that idea, it's just like no one's going to be able to do it as good as Deku, even the previous users,
Mm-hmm.
technically. So,
Yo, what's this? What was the parallel quirk that one of the previous users was talking about?
hmm?
Parallel
He
quirk.
was like, "Damn, and I had her right where I wanted her, but the third was right. My parallel quirk processes are
Oh,
all
I
screwed
think I
up."
think that just meant using multiple cores at the same time.
Yeah.
At least that's what it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's just
I
like him
definitely got
like
that wrong.
doing the actual combos. He's still just rusty with.
Right.
I got you. I was gonna say, hold on. I had to like look it up. Like, am I missing something? Like, did this nigga just pull some random quirk that the previous had?
Uh,
Okay.
Low
um.
key, he gets the power
Oh, I
spin.
do have to give Naga a shout out for the close range thing. I thought that was a pretty dope use case of the airwalk quirk, like using it on her hands to do like a nice little elbow to Deku. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool for like kind of just. It seemed like she recently got it. I mean, she got it in a prison break. Maybe she had a few things to train with it, but that's pretty dope. Like way to show us that it's not just she can just float on air. Like you can actually use this to help you in hand-to-hand combat. Even though we're probably not going to see more of it after this, but
Mm.
nice little
I
touch.
think I think she's just super raw with any quirk that she gets. I feel like low key, if she was the one who actually received the all for one,
Mm-hmm.
she'd probably do a better job of using all those powers than
Deku.
Tomura.
Did
Oh,
she get Rocky?
Because I feel like she's low key because she literally just got this power and she's already pulling extra stuff out of this power that you probably wouldn't have expected somebody could do with it without having a
see,
bunch of extra practice using it.
my thought is I do think she has some time with it because my thought is when she got the power, it was like like either shortly after the prison break or during the prison break because the scene, if I remember correctly, looked like they were still in the prison area. So he was like, all right, here's this quirk. Then we have the whole Deku leaving the Hero Society and doing some shit for a while, and then he ran into her. So it was still a short period of time, but I think she had like at the very least maybe like a week with it, probably maybe a month at max. Because I don't know how long the Deku to solo time skip is, but yeah, but it's still
Yeah,
pretty like cloudy that she was able to kind of come up like use it the way that she used it in the
Well, I
short
mean, she
period of
is a
time.
pro assassin. I mean, like them shots, at least from like the history, like flashback goes. I mean, low key, Homegirl was about it, man. I mean,
Uh,
well, I'm not talking about just her quirk. I'm talking about taking a whole new quirk and practicing with it to the point where you're basically saying, "All right, I can use this in many different ways that the
right.
previous that whoever had it first probably couldn't even think of, and
That's
they
true.
probably had it for years." That's
yeah,
that's
I
that's
mean,
what
she,
my
yeah.
take is.
I mean, I didn't just say that to say that she's good with just her quirk. I mean, like she's an assassin, right? Like I'm pretty. Well, I mean, this is all being implied, obviously, but for like how well and for probably how long she was doing it, she had to incorporate other skills than just her sniper ability. You know what I'm saying? So it's like she's just all around a capable assassin. I word it like that. So in that sense, then that would make sense for her to like, get a quirk and like think about, what would actually be like the pros, cons, and like how to best use it, X, Y, Z. The one defense I'll say for Shigaraki though is that we technically haven't really seen him have any results after practice with multiple quirks. Because homie, like all we saw was him just like bust out the test tube and do work. Granted, I mean, it is Shigaraki. So, I mean, the argument's still there, but the point is that we haven't seen him really after any practice with multiple quirks and then jumping into a fight. We just haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not expecting any kind of refined shit from Shigaraki, though. I'm going to just put that out there. Like, if he does come out with, like, the Deku level, like the way Deku's integrating these multiple quirks into his thing where he's really thinking about his moves and he's not just throwing shit out, I would be surprised if Tomura pulls that out, because I think also the other thing that we have to consider is like he's setting up a lot of like old school hero versus villain stuff, meaning that like even though Deku has All For One, against Shigaraki he's actually coming in kind of underpowered, like because Shigaraki has like an arsenal of quirks deemed worthy to be part of, you know what I'm saying, All For One. Right. So it's like Tomura probably doesn't have to think a lot about what he's using because it's so broken. Like now, if Deku had that ability and then combined it with his strat ability, that nigga would be the GOAT. Because now you got ultimate quirks, and you can think about how you can, like, what All For One was doing, where he's like, oh, I'm going to take a muscle enhancement quirk and then some other armor quirk and make, like, this big-ass super fist to punch you with, right? Like, I don't see Tomura coming up with shit like that out the gate unless told to. Like, we're going to have to get a scene where All For One is like, here, I'm actually going to train you on how to use this the right, or how to think about this power the right way. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I could just see him being, like, an angry nuclear bomb, like just running around slapping niggas with whatever shit he feels like it when he feels like it.
That's fair.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a fair thought. I guess we'll have to see.
True. All right. I don't think we're rating this, but is there anything else on My Hero that we want to do?
No, it's all about Lady Gaga.
I will also say that in the anime, this scene, like what she did with the elbow, I think is gonna look fire. Whatever she did with that, like boom, airwalking that elbow into this nigga, like that shit, I think is gonna look pretty fire in the anime. So that's one hope for it. The other thing, also I forgot to say this when we were talking about how she mastered that power. Another thing to add on to that mastery is that, like, I don't know the amount of recoil from a sniper rifle, but I'm assuming there is some recoil. So to be able to handle that in the airwalk state, like master sniping as accurately as she does on the ground in the air, is also like another pretty big feat to put on her in such a short period of time. Because that shit is like, I'm sure, like, if only her feet are holding her up and she's shooting a sniper rifle like this, there's still like a significant level of difficulty with nothing to brace herself in any other direction. It's just my assumption. I'm not a sniper, but I'm assuming it's difficult.
Not to mention, like, people who are, snipers or whatever, they typically, would hone in on their sights or whatever, hold their breath so that they can be as still as possible before actually pulling the trigger. She's over here just moving all over the place.
That's beautiful.
Right. And it's all just, going random
precise 24/7.
Yeah.
So
that's wild.
Yeah. She's amazing.
Respect on her for that. All right.
She Lady in the God, bro. Gotta respect the lady title.
Big fact.
Any so I guess I'll just ask, are there any quick guesses on what's gonna happen within the next chapter?
That's a wrap, bro. She's either about to dip so that we can see her fight again, or like she's gonna get wrapped up. I think we got what we needed from Deku out of this. The Fajin reveal, some other little moves. We got a little bit of depth in My Hero backstory. I can't see this Lady Nagant fight going on for another chapter. It's done. I don't know what he's gonna do next, but this fight's over with.
Oh, you saying he finna rock her somehow?
He's either gonna rock her or she's gonna escape. My thing about the escape though is that unless they're building a team, meaning like we're gonna see a return to Shoto, we're gonna see a return of Bakugo to build up to like this final fight with Tomura, I don't see why Lady Nagant needs to come back again. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, if he beats her now and she flees, my thought is that she's coming back to be a difficult fight for somebody that's not Deku. So like a Shoto fight or a Bakugo fight or somebody else in the whatever final squad, she'll come back and be a difficult fight for them. But I can't see it as a other than that, I don't see her. I don't know why she would need to fight Deku.
I mean, as far as the mechanics, I get your point, but I think the clashing viewpoints on society, since they chose that plot route to it, I think that they have to circle back at it at some point. Yeah, at least that's my opinion. So if this fight doesn't end here for some reason, then I think they're going to bring her back later to go, maybe not 1v1 be Deku, but at least like some kind of team up where she's with somebody and he's with somebody. They're both in groups and then they come back again and clash.
To me,
so that can be final out.
I can see Bakugo shutting that logic down. Like, I get Deku, friendship, blah, 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 but I think it would actually be funnier to see her fight Bakugo. Plus, I think it'll be a difficult fight for him because long range, and he's definitely a closer range fighter. So how is he going to close the gap? All that other stuff. But like at the end, when she's just like, "Oh, don't you get this about the Hero Society or this about the Hero Society?" Bakugo would just say something totally dickish that hits her in her heart for some reason. Like, why the fuck does that matter? And then she'll just be like, "You're right." Oh, and then she'll, whatever. And oh yeah, Antonio just brought up a good point. She'll be an anti-hero. Just watch. I can see that as well because she did bring up the vigilantes thing. So to me, I think she's kind of flexible on what side. Maybe she turns into, whenever we see what Stain's doing, she might do something like that.
Oh,
but
facts.
like towards the end battle, I don't see her as stand until she dies with All for One. So I totally agree with that. She'll probably flip sides, but if they want to get another fight out of her, I just think it'll be with somebody that's not Deku, and then they'll flip her after that.
Okay.
Because they're not flipping her now, you guys think they're flipping her now, but I think it's too soon.
Hell no.
I don't see it.
All right, just met this bitch.
Yeah. Ain't nobody doing talking to jutsu in this.
Right? But I'm like, this soon it'd be crazy. It's like, he just fought, she kind of lost, and then Deku just talked no juice her to her side. I was like, you was never really with All for One to begin with. Like, that thing was so fragile. Like, if you turn that quick, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
right.
No, 100%.
At level 100.
Right.
Boy, stop. So, just to make sure what I'm saying correctly, she's about to snipe.
Chisaki.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't want to call him his previous name. So she's about to snipe this random citizen. With no arm.
Right? Don't even deserve his own name anymore. But pretty much, and then Deku's gonna get hit on some OBS. So now, I just feel like, F around. I feel like some other hero might save him, and then when a whole squad shows up, she just ends up dipping. Like that's the only thing that makes sense to me. Especially with the introduction of all these new quirks of Deku, I guess it would be a good point to chill out and kind of reassess where the overall plot is kind of going. Since Deku's been up and about nonstop, feeling low-key guilty / feeling like he should be getting stronger. It's just been nonstop for him during the time that we as an audience haven't been seeing. Right. So it's just maybe a chance for it to chill out for a hot second.
True that.
Yeah.
Oh, here's another thing we never brought up. What do y'all think about her being able to talk out of the bullets that she shoots?
Oh, I missed that part. That happened?
Wait, pause?
because it happened on the very first time when we actually saw her shoot at him. She was talking from the bullet that she had shot in the wall, but you can actually see it again, on page 4 and 5. When that first time when she actually shot at him, it says, I was exhausted. Mm-hmm. It's showing the speech bubble coming from that actual bullet that's in the wall. And it's showing it again. Yeah. What do y'all think about that?
Because I never even caught that. That's crazy.
Being used on some very clever shit or whatever.
Bro.
So let's say if you're in a little risky situation or whatever, like some type of negotiation with some terrorists, you sneak off a little shot to your homies in the far distance, like, yo, it's about to go down.
That's dope. Yeah, no, you're right.
That's pretty clutch. Yeah,
because basically
that being used hardcore.
You don't have to walk in there with a wire. She is the wire. She shoots the wire off and they can just listen to the whole thing that's going on.
Right.
No, 100%. If they chose to use her, like for that one fact, they could have used her like completely differently. I mean, like, just like in general, like either the ability, like as far as what kind of villain / what kind of fight that could have happened, like that could have changed everything low key if they chose to do it to make it like a super stratty fight in that sense. But
Exactly.
wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty trippy.
My question would be: do you guys see that as two quirks?
No,
I mean,
You don't see that as two quirks. Interesting. Okay.
I just think of it as an extension of her quirk.
I mean, it
I
is,
know.
but I mean, considering what kind of extension it is, I mean, like,
Yeah.
bro, that's gotta. I mean,
I
I
don't
don't see
know
that being a quirk.
what
Like,
the
I
root
can
is
speak
there.
from. Wait, what's up?
Like, no, I'm agreeing with you. I just don't know what the root is there if it's an extension. You know what I mean? Like fire to lightning, you're like, oh, okay, I wouldn't consider that two quirks. That's an evolution. But like sniping bullets to talking through bullets, like what is what's the root that I can go like, oh, this is the tree that got me there. Like I don't see it.
Right. It's wow.
Hey, all it is a combination between her two parents. Her dad had the ability to spit somewhere, and that piece of spit, he was able to talk from that
That's
spit.
fucking
Wow.
bad.
And her mom was able to use her hair and use it as a slingshot to shoot at niggas, and they just happened to combine like that until she was able to snipe niggas and talk from the bullets.
Gomu Gomu no reach. Jesus, bro.
Wow, that's trippy though. Huh.
Well, anything
Okay.
else on the chapter?
No, that's it.
All right. Let's jump to One Piece chapter 1014, called The Ham. We all read it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna jump straight to that thing at the end before I jump to the Queen stuff. Kinemon's dead, right? Like that nigga took this nigga head off.
Please.
That shit looks like
Please.
this nigga's
Yes.
head is gone. Like gone.
Oh,
He
fuck.
blocked him like he didn't block that. And Kaido's nasty for that too. He's real greasy for that. Cause he ain't never did that to none of the other niggas that pulled up and tried to run his fade. All he was trying to do was protect Momonosuke. He took Kinemon's head off for nothing. You could have just smacked him and Kinemon would have been out worse than Kid or whatever, right? You could just smack this nigga to the side. He bumped his head inside of his body, bro. Whack-a-mole.
Exactly.
R.I.P. bro. I was like R.I.P. Kinemon. When I seen that, I was like, that is the fastest exit ever. Like Oda was really done with Kinemon because he was like, here, this is the win that you needed to get. You beat Kanjuro. Because that was really all he was setting up was like Kanjuro and Kinemon had to fight. I knew that from the beginning. So it was like, boom, you just beat Kanjuro. All right, cool. I don't need you anymore. Kaido, boom. Like imagine reading that instead of like seeing the pictures. Just imagine like that storyboard that was like, yep. Then right after Kaido shoots down from nowhere, bops this nigga on the head and Kinemon's dead. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, they definitely should have named this chapter Whack-a-Mole.
For real. The ham. Fuck did that come from?
Now, here's the thing that made me think that maybe this is. I'm gonna be stretching again. Go move.
Here we go.
So, the first time we were ever introduced to this man, he was basically in two halves.
Right.
He was a lower body,
Mhm.
and he was an upper body at another location because of law.
Right.
What if somehow Law actually had one of his big old rooms and actually transported the top half of his body again, so they made it look like
Wow.
I feel the reach on that one. That shit's gone.
Wow, bro.
That shit is gone, bro. Wow.
I'm just thinking it looks
Wow,
way too
dude.
similar to when we first met him. And now his legs are going to be stuck to his whatever you want to call that this giant
mace. I think it's called a mace or something.
Yeah, I thought it was called something else, but yeah, his legs are just going to be stuck to the mace. So if Kaido lets it go or whatever, now he's just going to run off with the mace, and now he's just going to fight with all hands.
Wow. He's going to use it to jack Kaido's weapon too, bro.
I'm done, bro. I'm done with that.
That's what I said. Oh, nuisance.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and hop to the chopper part. Like I said, it's not been revealed yet, but I've been talking about it for a while. I knew this our chopper's gonna get some sort of power up. Um, I'm hoping it's gonna be as raw as the monster chopper reveal, but I don't know yet. But I love when they put time limits on chopper because I know once you go past, some crazy shit is gonna happen. Because last time he only had what? He could only use like 3 rumble balls or something like that.
Oh, from
Put
the
that
very
4th
get-go.
one in. We got Monster Chopper. So now we got the 30-minute joint. I wish they went into more detail on how Caesar helped him.
Yeah, 100%.
But I'm assuming that once he goes past this 30-minute limit, we're about to see another form of Monster Chopper potentially. And once again, Oda, man, big disrespect on the second in commands, bro. Smoothie, we saw nothing from, and Queen is getting dragged by Chopper?
Hey, don't say he's getting dragged.
No.
He's playing with him.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, what I will say, wait, before
yeah.
y'all say y'all thing, all I'm going to say is him whooping Chopper, I think confirms that those motorcycle wheels on Big Mom's face did some shit, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna call back to that moment when they fucking rode those wheels on that bitch face. That shit actually did something. If this is what Chopper is doing to Queen, bro, don't sleep. Frankie body to Yoko with some tire tracks on her face, bro.
Hear me out. What's happening between Chopper and Queen is basically like, if you got yourself a little sibling or a nephew or a niece or whatever, and y'all are like play fighting, but you act like they beat you, like, you got me. That's basically what Queen is doing.
So you telling me that black coffee beam was a play beam? That wasn't a real beam? She wasn't trying to take that motherfucker out with that coffee beam?
Oh yeah, he was definitely gonna take that man's head off. He was basically saying, all right, I'm gonna stop playing with you.
Right. Also, anybody find it weird with the neck stretching thing?
Oh,
I thought that was fucking odd.
No, 100%. That was.
I thought he did that before though.
Mm-hmm.
He did
like
that.
that? No.
Yeah.
I mean, like, bro, we see his skeleton
because,
though. Like, when have we ever? I don't remember ever seeing that. Like,
thought,
you literally see the breaks in like the meat and the bones with the stretch. I never.
Yeah, I thought that maybe. I might be remembering the exact person that did this, but I could have sworn that perhaps Big Mom or Marcos, like somebody grabbed him and actually slammed him, or did something to the point where it actually stretched his neck out.
Oh, okay.
I honestly can't say I remember, but I mean, if anything, this almost like highlights it to me because I just see that itch and it's just like that. I mean, that's just weird. Like, why would they have it stretched like that?
I smell a Frankie power up. That's my thing, though. I think Queen is becoming like she's the doctor and the technologist. So this disease thing was, we got the doctor Chopper level up, and then now I think we might get the combat Chopper level up. But she did that neck stretching thing. They show Frankie a little bit after. I think that he may learn a thing or two, or she has some Vegapunk knowledge out there. But whenever I see to me, when I'm reading these chapters and I see something that relates to a particular character in the crew, I automatically think that there's potentially a power-up or a learning experience from this. Maybe we don't see it right now in this arc, but there might be a callback to it from Frankie sometime in the future with some other shit he does. I don't know. But I'm still disappointed in Queen. So far, they've done nothing but make her more uninteresting with all of these powers. Like, the beam, I was like, where the fuck did this come from? First of all, I was like, did you develop that? Is this science or... you know what I mean? I want to know the source of that because as a Zoan, I mean, she's a mythical Zoan, so maybe. But I'm like, so does that mean, X-Ray can shoot a beam out his mouth?
That's not a mythical Zoan. He's literally just an old dinosaur.
I mean, I thought ancient. Well, I mean, I was putting ancient and mythical almost on the same level. I mean, if you want to call them different, I guess. But
either or, but it's supposed to be a special type of Zoan.
Right.
So I'm kind of just outside of what you could argue. Oh, my bad. King, I guess, is another one. King and Marco are the only two that I've really seen some sort of other thing coming out of them, right? Marco has that fire. He can heal people. He does all this Phoenix type shit. And King, we don't know what he can do, but when he turns into his own form, he's on fire.
Right.
So that's like also another like like what's the source of the black coffee beam? And she called it a black coffee beam too. So I'm even more like that's just a fucking laser. But then we find out she's a fucking robot. So now I'm like, oh, maybe it's just a robot thing.
Yeah, Queen is legitimately a cyborg.
Yeah. So I'm gonna rack it up to Cyborg Blast. That's what it is.
Exactly. It's basically so the way I picture Queen is very similar to how I picture Kuma. Kuma, has had all of these experiments done on his body.
Right.
Yeah, Kuma and Frankie, they've had all of these experiments done on their body where they're able to do extra robot-y stuff or whatever.
Right.
The weirdest thing I found about Queen though is where are you hiding all of this extra mechanical stuff in your human form? Because this giant neck, I feel like that's a giant robot neck that's coming out of this Bronchiosaurus's neck. Right. So when he changes back into his human form, what does all of that extra neck material go to?
Yeah, how does it morph with your Zoan? Unless she was a cyborg before she ate the fruit, would be my only guess.
But
that would be my only guess for them. I still wouldn't believe it, but that would be my only guess for them to use bullshit logic to say how that works logistically. Because if she became a cyborg after, the only way they can explain it away to where people wouldn't ask any questions is Vegapunk did it. Mm-hmm. If they were like Vegapunk did it, you wouldn't ask any questions. It still wouldn't make any fucking sense. But because they hyped this nigga up so much, you'll be like, oh, okay, yeah.
This nigga survived for 1,000 years. Vegapunk.
Just Vegapunk.
Yeah, you met that nigga like 3,000 years ago, and he was like, all right, here, take this pill. You'll be straight. But no, I mean, are y'all hyped? Not hyped for a potential?
I mean, I'm more hyped for Chopper. I mean, I haven't been hyped for Queen since we've been introduced to him. Right. Like to be real, I mean, ever since this mother effer literally just said, "Oh, I know the perfect move against Big Mom." Went up some stairs and then body slammed her. I was done. So I mean, I had like no hope from like there. Then on, period. But definitely big ups to Chopper.
Right.
If it hasn't been clear, I want to put like heavy clout on his name to even just be able to like be wrestling with Queen like that. It's just like, yo. I mean, I never even thought that there would actually be like a 1v1 or team up with Chopper and somebody against one of the big three. King, Queen, Kaido, or even, I mean, Jack for that matter, to be honest. So to see this in general is pretty effing legit. And then the little tease, like pretty much finding out that homie worked with Caesar on his ish. Yeah, like MGG was saying, I'm ready for like that next step. Like that should be mad decent based on like that kind of co-op work. So this chapter for me was like all about Chopper. As soon as I saw that.
I think you're forgetting another detail that actually puts extra clout on Chopper's name.
Yo.
He's actually getting jumped right now, believe it or not, because he has hella arrows in his back from who?
Oh, that's true.
Sparrow.
That nigga is going straight snipe mode.
So he's taking on two top tier niggas because Sparrow is arguably probably in the top 3.
Oh yes.
But yeah, I mean, I did want to throw one other thing out there. You guys think that there is potentially this would be the end of it really, but like a gap closing thing that they're doing with the weak trio and arguably the middle trio too, because if you think about it, it kind of happened to them too. But if we started from Don Flamingo's arc, right, who do we get the power up from there? And the weak trio was Usopp because he pulled out this hockey thing, right? So he kind of closed the gap where he was weak trio, but we now saw him on like not Yonko level, but definitely on a way higher tier than we thought before, right? And then in the middle tier trio, that same arc, you could argue maybe Frankie's fight with Senior Pink was another one of those of like showing us he can tango with top tier niggas, because I think Senior Pink was like up there somewhere. And then when we go to Big Mom's arc, the next person that gets the power up is Nami with Zeus. So Nami gets Zeus, which goes like, oh wait, you went from like here to like, oh, you closing the gap with niggas now with Zeus. And then there we also got Brooke cutting soul shit. So now we see Robin about to have her first fight in a long time. And now Chopper's also seemingly getting a power up. So if it's a theory, it's at the end of the theory now. But it seems like each phase in this thing, we kind of got the weak trio getting some respect with some abilities that could potentially close the gap in certain fights. Chopper hasn't gotten his yet, but I'm hoping that this fight is here's the gap closer, right? Because with Zeus, it was like on and off, right? Like she could use it, maybe not. And with the hockey thing, Usopp doesn't have full control yet. So I'm not expecting whatever we get from Chopper to be this like automatic thing that he can pull out all the time. I'm expecting. That's why I thought it was going to be related to the Minx or Sulong, because I was like, that's a temporary goat ability, but it's very temporary, right? Like specific conditions have to be met. So it's not like this nigga's just gonna walk around Sulonging anybody that he fucking sees. It has to be in like a specific, you know what I'm saying, scenario.
So you think he finna go Sulong Monster Point?
I can see that.
I mean, based
But
on
just
how
imagine
Caesar
how
was
dope it
wording
would
it,
be.
it would make sense,
If
right?
he went
I mean,
from Big Chopper to condensed down, hyper fast, like serious, I'm about to beat your ass Chopper, you can't lie. That shit would be cold. That put Chopper
That
on a
that
different tier.
that would put that nigga's likability up so many points, man.
But that's what Monster Chopper was, though. Because remember,
right.
back then, when Monster Chopper pulled out,
It was on
niggas
control.
couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
It was a wrap. So I had to see something like that coming out. And once again, when they put time limits or like amount limits on Chopper, you know once you go past that shit, some shit about to go. It's about to go crazy, bro. Them 30 minutes, I don't know what he gonna do, but that nigga gonna go crazy.
After that 30 minutes, he gonna pass out. That's what I assumed.
Oh shit.
I mean, I guess, but I mean, Caesar. I mean, they were very, you know, they were very deliberate with their word choice, right? Because Caesar said there, and here's the key word: risks.
Yep.
We don't know what really those risks are. You know what I'm saying? So what we're hoping is that it's just like the Monster Point back in the day. The risk is you're gonna go buck wild. But how you like? What's really going to be the equivalent of that buck wild now? Because it's got to be significant enough for it to really do damage compared to what we're used to, right? So what makes sense? A slight power up from the Monster Point and just no control. That's what I'm hoping for, aka the Sulong, for what MGG was saying. Because based on the Sulong, that's pretty much what it is, right? It's like during the moon, you pretty much get like wild, just straight crazy. Animal form just jumps out and does buck wild-ish. So, I mean, fuck, I'm ready for it.
You gonna go crazy. Anything else
I still don't expect him to be Queen while y'all talking that bull.
Oh, of course not.
I mean, I'm not gonna say like solo dolo
with hope,
Queen.
though.
Like I'm not gonna go that far with it, but I mean,
with
to
hope.
be able to do work at least. I mean, well, first off, he's already doing work. All right, he's not doing hardcore damage, but he's doing work. As far as the next step being like actually like work on like some damage with Queen, that's reasonable. I think that's reasonable.
Well, I mean,
he might take 25% of that man's HP at most if we were talking RPG.
I'm thinking it's gonna be with help, right? Like it's gonna be some goat to create an opening. Marco will finish it. Think that's what I see happening.
How about that?
I see Chopper doing something crazy. Marco going, thanks, you did what you needed to do. Like I know you about to pass the fuck out. Let me show you how real niggas do it. Air quotes for Marco, but
I was about to say, like, to call that out. I was like, we finally got respect for Marco from NGG. This
real
about to be a historic day.
How real niggas do it. Air quotes. Heavy.
But what about his fight with King though?
He had a fight with King? I missed it.
I mean, we talked about this before the rehash it, but we
King,
all saw what we saw. Homie was 1v2ing King.
Oh, yeah, I saw that part.
Yeah, and he's still boxing with King right now.
That's what's up.
This nigga, I'm tired of you.
Bro?
I'm tired of you, man.
Boxing. He's still boxing with King. Yo.
Oh, wow.
This man puts respect on not a single commander in this show. The only crew that he actually respects is probably Shanks' crew.
That's not true.
That's probably the...
I put big respect on Jack when he showed up. I was hyping Jack the fuck up.
Yeah, but what about now?
I feel like what sucks is that Jack was such a great barrier to entry for the other two that I'm disappointed seeing the other two now, right? Because it was like when we first met Jack, it was like, oh, okay, you got to be a real one to fight this motherfucker, and then you find out he's the weakest of the three. So now you're seeing the other two fight, and Chopper's fucking grabbing one by the neck and body slamming him. Like, what? Like, I was like, I didn't even think, like, even in my mind right now, that's how he like came to the stage. I can't see Chopper like doing that to him.
You can't
He
see Chopper
probably
doing that
can.
to Jack.
He probably
grab
can,
that same
but I
mouse.
can't. That's
But
how.
yeah, grab that
before
dang
this
tusk.
scene- No, I'm pretty much with that. Like, to literally before today, if we were like, yo, Chopper can definitely just body slam and start boxing with Jack. Like, what? Like, that'd be like,
I would be like, huh?
nonsense.
And
So,
the thing
no, I
is,
hear that.
and the thing is, Queen is bigger. I
Right.
think so. I think I
No,
don't know
definitely
whatever
bigger,
he is.
yeah. I think that's right.
So I'm more like, whatever, man. We gonna have to see. Like, they really gonna have to pull some shit out. Like, Kaido, at least to me, like, I mean, as a Zoran, he's still disappointing. But I mean, what he did when he came back and just smacked this nigga Kinemon in his face, he let me know he's serious. I need to see how his other niggas are, because I'm still not seeing that like grit from them besides Jack. Initially, they gave off that they got that grit, but then Queen became too much of a jokey character, and King just disappeared into the shadows. So I need to get that, like, oh, we're the gritty team, because Big Mom's team was just like, yeah, I mean, like, we're goofy, but don't fuck with us. Like, those people that you see in the corner, you're like, oh, he look goofy. You start fucking with them, and they knock you out. That's Big Mom's crew.
Well, I actually put more respect on the niggas that weren't commanders and Big Mom's crew, like Oven.
Yeah, she had a lot of
and,
sneaky motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Count
Those-
Chicken
those-
was my nigga, bro.
Who?
Count Chicken, you don't remember Count Chicken?
Nigga, what?
He the guy who killed Dog. Well, did he kill him? Whatever, but he kept evolving in his fight with I think he fought the guy who ended up blowing himself up.
Oh,
But he
you
was
said
like-
Count. You
Yeah,
said
Count Chicken.
Nigga,
Yeah.
I heard cow chicken.
Oh,
I'm like,
Oh,
who the heck is a cow in the chicken?
Count
chicken, bro. That's
Because
a
remember,
classic.
he started as a little young nigga or whatever. He was like an egg or something.
Right.
Yeah, he
just
started
kept
off as an
evolving,
egg, man.
and then his whole group kept hyping him up. They was like, "Oh shit, bro, you about to turn the Count Chicken on your ass, bro? Never beat that motherfucker." That shit was funny.
That is true.
Shout out to Count Chicken, bro. Put in work. But yeah, anything else on the One Piece chapter?
I think the fact that the island has reached Wano means that we're gonna start seeing intro to a few more people as far as cast goes in the war.
Hey,
going on.
CP0 need to come in. But I think
Yo.
they said they were gonna let them destroy themselves, right?
I think so.
They not. Yeah, we need a special nigga to come through, because the thing is, somebody's gonna get Luffy out this water, and I don't think it's
that's what I was
anybody
gonna
on Oganashima, whatever, the fucking floating island right now. I don't think anybody's jumping in the water to save them, because they all seem pretty busy.
Yeah.
So
I
new
mean,
niggas
best
gonna
case
show
would have
up.
been Jinbei,
Right.
but that nigga gone. So
Getting kicked
every
in the face
time I've seen anybody bring up this issue, they would always bring up Law's crew, because the nigga does basically
Oh,
drive
the
a
ghost-
got a submarine.
The ghost niggas. We only know like two people. One that was just a new recruit from his fucking crew. The guy they freed from prison, and then the panda. That's it.
Beppo,
Yep.
dude.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on Beppo.
But I'm just saying, like, for cruises, but I can't lie. Everyone else's cruise like that, except, I mean, Capone's is arguably like that, but I just found them funnier and more interesting when they had that whole, like, meeting, and they were like, yeah, look at all the new niggas. When they made fun of Caesar, and they called him Gastino.
Yes.
Mhm.
That, they gave a little bit of respect to the other niggas in Capone's crew. They still ain't shit, but at least I think they got names. I haven't got any names other than, like, Killer and Kid from Kid's crew, Law,
Yep.
Beppo. I don't even remember what the prisoner dude's name is from Law's crew. Basil, does he even have a fucking crew? I thought he did, but I haven't seen none of them niggas. Ex-Drake, same thing. A bunch of ex-Marine ass niggas don't know anybody's name. Who's the second in command? Like, you know what I mean? It's just, nobody's building a team. It just seemed like it was one
Right.
strong nigga, and then people were like, hey, can I join? He was like, yeah, just sign this paper and we good. And then they just all on a adventure together.
Pretty much.
That is true.
All right. I'm like, does Lost Crew even know his backstory? Because I'm assuming at first I would have thought they came from the same area as him, but now I'm like, nah, because I mean, all
Doubt
them
it.
niggas is dead. So,
Doubt it.
so do they even know like he's a D and all this other stuff, or did he just keep that from them? So many
Bro.
questions, no
You just don't know.
answers.
All right, here's another question. So if y'all can go back to the beginning of the chapter, page 4 or 5, where where you see Momonosuke, he's reading Odin's book, and he's saying it would seem that I truly must not die.
All right.
What does that have to do with anything that he's seeing in this book? Is that something special? I heard somebody kind of joke that he's Joey Boy. I ain't going for that.
Mm.
And it's just something special about him that's noted in this book that was the reason that he has to be here at this period of time. What do y'all think that it is?
He's the catalyst to Luffy beating this nigga ass, bro.
Ow.
Luffy don't let his friends down. Period. I mean, I'm sure that's not the core reason as why it's going on here, but that would be my thought.
I'd be like, wow, that'd be something.
Yeah.
I honestly, I thought about it for a hot sec, but I mean, trying to pinpoint anything in One Piece is like an endless spiral.
Right.
The best I could say is that obviously this is going to be dealing with like the actual One Piece itself. That's like the most and like basic summary statement I could possibly say is that he does play a key role in probably finding One Piece. That's all I could say.
Mm.
Well, he has a voice of all things where, well, I would guess a higher level of the voice of all things where he's able to control at the very least Zunisha. So that's probably something related to him being able to control at the very least one giant elephant, if not a whole clan of them during this final war at the end of it.
And Jack too.
What?
He's an elephant, isn't he?
Just stupid.
that nigga better not transform, bro. Wrap him up.
Stop. Y'all, you know that's gonna be Tama.
I mean, F around though.
Kiwi
I
Dongo.
mean, she's on the spree. I mean, if they wanted to do a quick wrap up, they could just make that happen, bro. Just like, whoop, there's some mochi. Oh, got queen. Whoop, there's some mochi.
Don't forget that she can't. It doesn't work on devil fruit users. It only works on smile users. They said it like
that's right.
4 chapters ago or something like that.
All right, touche. They covered themselves.
Yeah, they did. Niggas were definitely waiting on that reveal. Like, she is not about to capture this whole dang pirate group.
I'm saying, bro, the whole squad go switch over to Tama, and like Kaido gonna be under her thumb, bro. New Yonko, Tama.
Yo, that'd be some scary stuff.
I'm just saying, bro.
But I'm also hoping that they actually let these niggas that actually died in the shot to be dead. I'm hoping Conjuro is dead. I hope Toki. No, that's not Toki. Kinemon. I hope. Damn, what's her name? Kiku. I hope Kiku is dead.
Oh, she dead. She gone.
We'll see.
Please let these niggas actually be dead in this chapter.
Yeah, the only person I can see surviving is Kinemon, because like my thing is Momonosuke, if he chooses to stay on this land and like basically be the king of Wano or whatever, he needs a group of, he needs like a army, like, or what do you call them, like retainers. Yeah. So I think initially the plan was that these niggas would be the retainers, but everyone here is out here on some 7 samurai shit. I'm trying to die. So like they're all like, if Odin ain't my boss, I'm trying to get killed. So I'm like, well, I don't know who's really going to be left besides Kinemon. Like Kiku feels like she came out of nowhere. Which one's the one? Whoever the one with the gun is, feel like they came out of nowhere. So I'm just like, whatever, bro. I think Kinemon's the only one surviving. He needs at least 1 to 2 decent or strong niggas to survive this in order for him to be able to like take the throne, and you're not worried about somebody pulling up on Wano and basically taking it from him again. Because if it's just him, he's basically inheriting a country that, let's say all of Kaido's crew left, is starving, has like most of their resources like stripped. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's like 12 years old. So
Yeah.
I'm like, how he's gonna mentally be able to bring them all back, even if the Minks do help them, he still needs like something internally to bring this country back to normal,
That's
especially if they
that's
open the
what
borders.
that's why he just got to marry Tama, bro. So they basically just gotta they gonna have some like age thing or whatever. I forgot what her name is, but
Where's his
she's also
sister
part of
at
it.
right now?
Nobody knows.
Yeah, like I haven't even. I mean, I'm assuming she
Damn, I
wouldn't be
haven't
here
thought
because
about
she
her
got no
either.
hands.
She's
But like,
she's definitely there. She's sneaking around somewhere trying to
uh,
make sure that the scabbers
she
don't
might
see it. And she
inherit the
said she
throne.
won't. I
She
don't know.
she might be the one to get it because it makes more sense for her to have it than him at this current moment. He doesn't have
I don't
no
know. I
no
don't, I
shits.
don't see that happening because I can see her sneaking off with Zoro at the end of the story, so she
Who?
ain't gonna be running things.
Mm.
I don't know. She might have to fight Robin, bro. That ain't gonna go so well.
Robin, that's
Yo,
Frankie,
don't
bro.
sleep, bro. It's
That's
real.
Frankie. Frankie and them walls. What you talking about, bro?
Ooh.
What?
Yeah,
Nah. They be hinting
yeah.
at Zoro Robin for like a lot of the whole series, bro.
Oh,
Tell
y'all
me.
tripping.
All right. Anything else on One Piece?
Nah.
All right. Let's close it out with some Black Clover. Chapter
Always gotta not breathe. So
294.
you are gonna be giving a reaction from me about
Oh,
that.
okay.
And this is why I drop out.
All right. See you.
Peace out, y'all.
Peace.
Alright, so let's see here. We got Jack being petty. We got Dante really is out cold, son. God damn.
All right.
Oh fuck. Okay, homie got devils on devils. Oh dick. Okay, so this just got real. Oh wait, no? Dante's still here? Wait, pause. Oh shit. Wait. No. No. They gonna rehash Jack v. Dante? Is that what I'm saying right now? Am I tripping? They really about to rehash that? Okay, let's see. Okay, so we went to the other fight now. That's good. Oh wow, so they're just gonna straight pump her. Okay. Alright, so this is pretty much just an intro. It looks like Charlotte might be out. I don't like that. Okay. I pretty much have a gist of it. So this is wow, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed about this chapter.
Black Clover.
Wow. Okay.
Welcome.
Where to start?
So I think I'm gonna jump straight to. I'm glad Magna got his respect, and I'm glad Jack emphasized that we're letting this nigga get his respect. So even though Dante came back, hey, Jack stated in the manga, let that nigga have his win. So it's a dub for Magna. Put some respect on his name. Other than that, to me, it's just really the end. I mean, hopefully we get a little taste of what Jack does to defeat this ugly monster thing. Maybe he's gonna stay around for a while. I don't know. But the end part is like, Noelle is here. I'm excited to see what she's gonna pull out. I don't know if we're gonna get anything from Gaja. And they got the Heart Queen taking over, which is like
right. So it's not like that
Gaja
fight. Like the fight will be like okay, I guess, but it won't be like in depth. I don't think, as far as like true power scaling, strats, etc. Like it won't really be a fight. It's gonna be like what do you even want to call that? Kind of like a bring back over to the good side. So not really a fight, but more of like a combo.
That's for Gaja though. I think
right. No. That's what I'm saying. Like 100%.
Okay.
But the Vanica and Noelle, like that's gonna be mad decent.
Okay.
The only thing I'm a little sad about is that I didn't want it to be 100% 1v1. I mean, I like the respect of Noelle getting the 1v1, but I still wanted more from Charlotte. And if she's actually about to like if this like last blow that she just got is gonna be like that final ish where all right, she's down and now Noelle has to take her spot, I'm just gonna be a little disappointed about that. I just don't feel like her shine was big enough, at least from what I wanted.
Oh, well,
But
I
it's
I would say don't sleep because you got to think that Noelle's magic, even if she learned the extreme magic, it still doesn't help in the way that the Briar magic helps. So
that's true.
the same way, I think she's definitely getting knocked out because Noelle has to have this one on one after
Mhm.
what we just got from Magna. Like I would be surprised if they were like, "Oh no, Noelle needs help for this." But the strongest demon, we're gonna let Magna like knock this nigga out. But so I think she's definitely getting knocked out. But my hope is that the closer of this is gonna be her, right? Like because she already said like, oh my
Mhm.
Briar shit was able to kind of shut down the curse part aspect of her magic.
Right.
I think that may come into play at the end, the same way Jack is kind of like, all right, you whoop Dante's ass. Now he's just a mindless monster with no strats. Like my anti magic can take it from here. You know what I mean? Like I can figure out some shit to cut this nigga down because now he's just dumb. Um, I think we're gonna get something similar from the Briar thing. Like Noelle will use some extreme magic. You know, Vanica will be down to the last leg. Maybe she tries to use some curse shit, Briar magic to save the day of like, hey, stop
Mm,
that.
okay.
Like I
So
think
almost like
Noelle's
kind
here
of
to
like the
handle the
final.
blood magic.
Okay, so kind of like the support touches almost in like a
Right.
final. Okay, I kind of
Yeah.
see that.
I definitely think Noelle's owning her dub. Just the Briar magic's there for the curse act. Because there's that I think they're both there for that reason anyways. They both have to resolve this curse on the family shit.
Right.
So I think that's why she's there too. So when they beat Vanica, you know, the next thing is like, yo, we gotta handle this curse thing somehow.
Mhm.
So I see that.
I mean, unless they're just gonna F it and just be like it's like kind of automatic, right? Like
Yeah.
after what I'm assuming is that like at the very end, the Dark Triad's gonna get beat and their devils are somehow gonna get pulled back into the underworld. Like they could just
Yeah.
argue that since they're physically now gone, the curses are just gonna be warded off,
Mm,
or it's just gonna be kind of like a almost like a plot closer. It's just like one little extra point, just be like, oh, okay, we can now clear the curse because they're gone. They left behind
right.
something. Something learned something. Charlotte now with the curse warding, she could do something now that they're gone. So something along those
Yeah.
lines, where it's just almost like you could call it cheap, but just a plot ender or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I definitely think it's
But
gonna open up something for the for what's her name, Rosalie, Charlotte. Afterwards, like after her curse is healed, because I think her magic is tied to her curse somehow. So I think if that gets
that's also true.
yeah, if that gets healed, then that means we might see a new power or a whole new magic come out of her.
Mm,
In terms of like how she does shit. So
right.
I'm interested. The thing that I will also put respect on is Jack shouting out that he also collects commoners. I mean, I guess Yami doesn't really collect commoners; he collects outcasts. But
Right.
it's good to know that some of the niggas we've seen in the Green Mantis already are really just commoners. I don't know if we count Weird Shield, but the comedic relief guy. I don't know if we count him, but Mushroom Guy is one of my favorite characters. So I like that he's just like a common nigga because I just thought he was absolutely hilarious, and he was pretty broken being like a commoner. Like, um, so I'm glad he did that. Um, and I think that was pretty much it. To me, those were like the major things. Is like Asta, Luck, putting respect on Magna. Like, yeah, we see you as our equal, and or even better than us. And then the thing at the end with Briar Magic, Noel saving the day. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. I think we're gonna see Gaja and Painting Homie though pair up against Lola Chapeka because I think
Oh,
they
okay.
still want to make Real a main character ish, like a main side
Well, I mean, he is a
character.
captain, so
Right, but I think like he's getting more spotlight with the. I feel like he's getting the Hitsugaya treatment, where like all of the other
mm,
captains in Soul Society, you kind of were just like they're older, so you knew whatever you saw was like that's their max or whatever, right? They pull out a Bankai, you didn't expect to see nothing new except Kenpachi. But Hitsugaya, even though he was like the youngest captain, they still showed it like skill development, and even at the end, he pulls out like a new move, right? So he's still growing. So I think they're doing that with Real where like he came back, but he was also training with them in the Heart Kingdom. You know what I
right.
mean? So I think he's gonna pull out a like just something extra of just like,
Yeah.
and I think Lola Pachica is probably a better fight for that. because it doesn't distract from Noelle owning that win that she's going to get against Megacula. I think they're going to keep Lola Pachica distracted. Gaja's going to have some issues because it's her, so he's
Right.
going to be a little bit softer on the attack. So I think Dude
Right.
Real will be a good like, oh hey, now it's my turn to show off like what I've done or learned during this training arc.
100%. But what's curious is that if they really do split up the fight, it's how do I word this? Like I don't think the queen is weak, but I think that a huge portion of her power was contributed by the water spirit, and
Yeah,
she's not here. So
coming to
if
Noelle.
but what I'm saying is that like if they really do split up, where like Vanica and and Megicula like together are gonna pretty much be just going against Noelle, not really giving any support to Lola Chica. It's like, how strong is she really? I
But
mean,
that's what she
it's a
was saying though.
question.
She said, "Bitch, you've been holding back." And you got to think about it. Even with the water spirit, you still have to deserve to get that motherfucker. So
Right.
don't think it's like, you know what I'm saying. Fuego Leon was still a cold ass nigga before the salamander popped up. So my thing is that Lala Pachica is the type of person that they're gonna say has been strong but holding back, and they're gonna use that as an excuse to make her evil side more powerful than you expected her to be. Because they'll be like, oh, she just had this in the pocket. She just chose not to use it. And then you also have to think about the fact that she was consuming mana, basically watching her entire country all the time. Like,
Mm,
Julius doesn't do shit like that.
that's
So
fair.
she's been spending a bunch of time doing like all this defensive magic. And
That's
now
true.
it's like all that responsibility is gone because she's under control. So
Right.
she can just go in. So I think we're gonna. I think you'll be surprised at what they're gonna show her pull out, and I
No,
think
that's
it'll
actually a
make
good point.
sense. She's also still the top
That's
mage
good.
at her thing, and I don't think that was all the water spirit. So I think she
That's
could take on the two of them for sure. Hopefully they get the dub at the end, but also like her spirit guardians kind of showed they weren't shit. Gaja was dodging his L for a while, but those other spirit guardians just took L's from basic niggas in the Spade. They're not basic, but low
I
tier
got you.
guys in the Spade Kingdom.
Right. And like considering the fact that they got relatively beat easily. I
Yeah,
mean, after by the Black Clover kids. I mean, and not even just the Black Clover kids. Up in what's his face, Leopold was
right.
able to body one too. So I was like, wow. But no, that's actually a good point though, as far as all that work that she was doing in the background, which low key makes you think that like, yo, the Heart Kingdom with her being caught, like
Yeah.
they should be struggling. like as like a side note, like what's going on with like the Heart Kingdom residents? Like they
Oh
should
yeah,
be going through some ish right now with her gone,
big
considering that
facts.
fact. So that's actually kind of interesting. Um, but okay, no,
Anything
that's
else you
actually
want to
pretty.
call up on Black Clover?
I mean, Dante's just. I mean, like, I keep thinking that Dante can't get lower for me, and it just. It's just so sad. It's just I know I've rehashed it a couple times now, but
Yeah,
to just know where Dante once was, as far as like how I was thinking about him in the respect of the whole series, to see him now is almost like it's almost like Chisaki. It's almost like Overhaul with Boku no Hero. It's just like,
right.
wow, you were so up there, and now you look like trash.
See,
It's like, bro, what? You literally
yeah.
have to like come back to pretty much look like scraps to make Jack now look good. You are being used as a tool for Jack to now look good. Like
Right.
that's all you are right now.
See, my problem, like why I'm not hurt by it, is that basically Dante told us from day one he's a guy that's never been humbled. Never once in his life has he had a fight where he's been humbled. So that what I think is what led to his mental breakdown. Because the first fight, he didn't get humbled. He still kind of won at the end, but he fought hard for that W, bro. That W came kicking and screaming. And then after that, to feel so cocky that he body knocked him, whatever, so that built his confidence back up a little bit. But then a no-name commoner comes up and drops you, and really most of the reason why he drops you is off your own like
It's
dumbness.
true.
Like you basically allowed him to drop you because you opened it
Mm-hmm.
up for him to do that. Now
Mm-hmm.
you take this L. Like I think he just was going crazy, bro. And then probably the demon in his head was talking shit to him like, motherfucker, ain't you supposed to be the strongest nigga here? How the fuck you taking L's like this? Trash. I'm about to find a new nigga. Trash. Maybe I should go to this bum nigga because he's whooping your ass right now. Like, shit like
Yo,
that.
F around? Yo, wouldn't that be a twist, though?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
think about that for a second.
That'd
like,
be dope.
Magna was low-key sharing in the energy. He could have literally been like, wow, this guy is actually trash getting beat by trash. All right, let's go for the better trash. Magna's now the host?
It'd take him out of character for me. I think what he needs is maybe, like, if he goes the demon route, he needs a very, like, arguably what Libe is to Asta. Like, a very low-tier demon, but, like, them together somehow, like, makes them much stronger. Maybe not to Asta's level, where Libe was really, like, a goat nigga. He just was somehow at the bottom tier because he just didn't know his power was that OP. But, like, a low-tier fire demon that maybe, like, when they work together, they can put their shit on the tier of, like, Lilith and the Ma in terms of, like, strength in the end game. I could see that, but I feel like if they gave him somebody as gold as Lucifero, it takes away from the whole, like, Magna being an underdog story. I feel like he's got to get everything out the mud. He's got to either, if he gets a demon, it's got to be, like, the lowest of tiers.
Yeah, well, I mean,
They'd be doing too
still
much.
wreck Dante, though, F around.
Yeah.
But,
Anything else?
No, really.
All right, before we close it out, just real quick, I'm just gonna shout out Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't know if you read it yet, but hey,
bro, yeah,
Maki,
I had to read that first.
Maki, big respect to her. That's it.
She just like bodied her whole clan, dude.
Big respect. My thing is, look, once again, I'm getting so angry every time I read a Jujutsu Kaisen chapter because I just go like, y'all didn't see this coming. Like, y'all kept poking the bear. Like, the Jujutsu Kaisen community, like, those families just keep poking the motherfucking bear in their families. Like, if you ain't shit, they'll poke at you, poke at you, poke at you. Then they come around and murder all y'all, and y'all don't know why the fuck this happened. Like, the Jujutsu Sorcerer Society or whatever, the school, whoever runs that shit, poking that nigga Gojo. And what they don't fucking realize is that, first of all, Gojo raised a bunch of goat niggas. And Maki's showing us that she's another goat in the list. Panda, like, a few chapters ago showed us he was, like, he's odd. I wouldn't say he's a goat yet because I haven't seen it. But he's definitely odd because of how he was created or whatever. They're like, okay, that shit is different. And, you know, obviously Yuji's broken. Megumi is obviously broken or going to be. And Kugasaki, we don't know yet. So I'm not going to say anything about her.
I mean, she at least does mad work. I wouldn't like goat her as far as like, you know, the Megumi and Yuji, but like she's definitely up there. Like,
exactly. 100%. And she hasn't gotten shitted on by the Jujutsu Society right now. So she doesn't have any like skin in the game yet. So my thing is, all these gold niggas was raised. Then you guys basically more or less allowed this nigga Gojo to get captured. And then once he got captured, y'all like, all right, let's get on our bullshit. He's gonna come out. And when he comes out, you've officially shown him that the nicety he was showing you is not fucking worth it. Not only that, but in the process of locking him up, you've allowed his crew to single-handedly take over the systems that you were intentionally going to use to kill him. Zenin family, y'all thought, you know, y'all had a team that could go against Gojo. Gojo's like arguably maybe the weakest Cursorer type team member, came in, murdered your entire squad. Your toppest of tier niggas murdered. And then his son took over your fucking family. Megumi's the king. They now have one nigga. They started with a crew of people. They now have only one person with those evil intentions. Like, and I'm just like, where? Like, how do y'all feel now? Like, sitting back and thinking about how this whole thing was just fucking destroyed. Like, where do you go? I'm just so, like, blown by... As I said, every time I read it, I just get, like, angry. I'm just like, y'all really didn't expect this bear to bite y'all. And now, like, now it's like, it's even worse because what I just said, like, when he finally gets out of prison, there's nothing really to fight. They've destroyed all the systems.
That's true.
So
That's
it's like
true.
he can't even really take the revenge like he wanted to, but he could have done that anyways. That's the funny part. Before he went in, he could have done all this. All
Mhm.
this power y'all were building up. How shitty does it feel to see that one girl destroyed it all? One girl that y'all shit on for her whole life.
Yo,
She destroyed it. And then
100%.
this nigga you don't know from nowhere is like, I run you now. Do what I say. And they all are like two different forms of the same original nigga y'all hated because he had no powers. Toji. One is that nigga's actual son, and the other one basically has his power, and is murking y'all. Like,
Dumb.
bro, it's been the beauty of
It's
the
dumb.
writer because he just basically created a come up story for these niggas without
Right.
us actually focusing on Toji at all. It's really
Yeah.
Toji's like revenge story, but we didn't get to learn about Toji until like very later to find out this was his revenge plot.
Yeah.
He's laughing, bro. He's laughing in his grave at these niggas, bro.
No,
Goofy ass
100%.
niggas.
I think he already got like a taste of that when he came back and saw
Oh, yeah.
Megumi. He was like, "Oh, this is what's happening out here. Hilarious!" And then just said dip, and then he literally dipped because he didn't need to do nothing else.
All right.
Like that's crazy.
R.I.P.
Oh gosh. But no, I mean, I'm loving all this. I mean, I like Maki from the jump. I'm loving this
Yeah.
Cloud. Oh my god, like she's a legitimate monster now. Like, because like we knew the power ups needed to happen, and to see that she got her power up, that was. I mean, this is a huge effing power up. Like, I don't know,
yeah.
like whoever's watching this, the audience who actually read Jujutsu Kaisen, understand that Maki was mad decent, 100%. But going from where she was to absorbing her sister to now be Toji status, that is huge. Like she just instantly got to like the same level of Yuji and Megumi in just that one step. Like we don't even need to see anything else for a while, and she will be able to bang with like the best of these mother effers, no problem now.
Oh yeah.
So it's like wow.
Nope.
And what's crazy is that this last buddy that she's gonna end up bodying actually thinks that he's. I don't get why not just like Joyous Eyes now. Like that's like it's an anime manga thing, I guess. But it's like when do people just like look at a situation like actual person? Like if you were this character in this moment, why not just be like, all right, let's crank it with each other?
He's gonna
you know what I mean? It's like there just got to be a certain point that you just look at the realness of the situation you're in. That homegirl just bodied the entire fam. Even if this is like, oh, let me just like start my own clan and like be this own like blah blah blah. But bro, you got like no members no more.
Right.
It's like, what are you the head clan of right now? Like Megumi? Like is that like you still trying to work that angle too? Like, come on now.
Yeah, solo dolo. Yeah, so, he gotta raise some kids for revenge. I mean, my thing is, I think he will not die. I don't know if like if Maki's gonna go like totally crazy on him, but I don't think he's gonna die. I think he's going to find either some way to escape or something. But he's not a hoe. Like he was going to.
I mean, that's true.
He was going to beat Blood Homie when he fought him. I'm pretty sure if that fight was prolonged, Yuji probably would have taken an L if he 1v1'd him as well. So I mean, I think he's definitely not somebody to sleep on. Plus, he has that cockiness of like, basically, he feels like he should have inherited the family anyway. So that goes to talk about his strength level. And now Obito is broken, so there's potential, but it's just.
I mean,
it's more from what
the only
saying.
thing I can say is I can see a decent fight because technically, in her onslaught, we haven't seen a fight. She just straight murdered these kids.
And some of the mobilities was trash. I was a little bit disappointed. I'm like, bro, y'all can't be talking about this girl that used weapons when all you do is make big hands. Like all that nigga did was make big hands. I don't even know what the other dude did with the eye shit. Like I was super confused on what that.
Like I don't know. That's gonna be like an anime explanation.
It was a lot of like, okay, yeah, kill him. Y'all were for real trash. And they were hyping him up big time. I'm like, bro, you really think this is some shit that's gonna like phase a Yuji or a Gojo? Like, oh, I'm throwing a million fists at you right now. and she's a hand-to-hand combat expert. Yeah,
Dude,
that's
homegirl walked out with the head, bro.
it's over with, bro.
I was, oh my god! Like
Yeah,
even her like mentality has changed now, bro. I
right.
mean, she's just cold blooded now. Like she literally is told you don't give a fuck right now, dude. It's
Oh,
crazy. So I mean, like all I'm saying is that because of what we just saw this chapter, I would actually be surprised if he didn't die. Simply because I know one, there's no way they're killing off Maki right now. Like just like knock on wood, because if they actually do, holy crap. But Maki ain't dying, and Homegirl's on like a mission to clean up the clan to an extent, right?
yeah,
So it's like either she's got to put him in the ground, or he's gonna somehow escape. And it's like based on his ability, possible, but it would kind of go one against like just her current flow of what she's doing, and then two, that cockiness.
yeah.
I mean, like it's like for him to still jump into the battle, seeing that she just bodied everybody, and to like fight and fight and fight and be like, oh, I'm gonna lose, let me run. I don't know. I just feel like that will go against at least what we're seeing as him for character.
All right.
So I think he's just going to be like super thirsty to actually put her in her place enough where I don't see him running. So
Gotcha.
I think it's going to be a mad decent fight, but I think she's going to catch a body again.
No, okay. Well, RP to whatever that Zeddy dude name is. All right then. We'll close out the stream here. Just quick shout out to the other chapters that dropped. Mash doing work. Doctor Stone
Oh,
doing work. So maybe in another stream we'll talk about those more in depth. But we'll wrap it up here. Thanks y'all for sitting on the stream for as long as you did. We will catch you in the next one, which I believe will be next Sunday. So